Well, you're 4 points clear still, but obviously you've now played Raith have played the same games as yourself. So after that defeat during the week, I mean, do you feel now that this really is Dundee United's title to lose?
Well, we're obviously in the driver's seat, there's no doubt about that. You know, you'd much rather be in our position than be in Wraith's, having to chase that deficit down. But, you know, we won't get complacent. You know, a lot of people out there are saying that, you know, it's ours to lose and what have you. You know, we just have to take it each game as it comes. And I know that's a really boring cliche, but it's really important that we don't take anything for granted. We don't underestimate Morton tomorrow night. We had a really difficult game down there against them a few weeks back, and we're expecting no different tomorrow. You know, Morton are a good, strong team, a physical team. They get the ball forward early. You know, we've defended really well the last couple of games, but you know, tomorrow I feel as if it's going to be probably the toughest test defensively that we've had for a number of weeks, given the physicality of the Morton team. So, you know, we're in a good position. It's exactly where we wanted to be at this time of the season. We just have to go and try and get the job done now.
How important is it, and how significant could it be if you can get those 3 points tomorrow night? Because obviously then Raith go into the weekend knowing that you're 7 points clear, and then should they slip up on Saturday, following weekend could prove significant. It's all ifs and buts, but I mean, you know, getting the 3 points tomorrow.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different permutations that could happen, you know, depending on how results go. But, you know, we can only focus on the Morton game. We can't take anything for granted. We don't expect to go down there and have an easy night and, you know, just walk away with the 3 points in the bag. Morton have still got a lot to play for themselves, you know, trying to fight for them playoff places. So, you know, of course it would be great, you know, to be sitting at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, 7 points clear with a little bit more of added pressure on Raith Rovers. But, you know, been in the game long enough to know that it can swing very quickly if we do get complacent. You know, it's not a huge gap. It's you know, it's something that obviously we're pleased about, but at the same time, you know, things can change very quickly, and we have to just keep reminding ourselves of that and approach the game in a positive mindset. The lads are in good form. There's a lot of confidence within the group at the moment. We've scored plenty of goals against 2 tough oppositions in the last couple of games, and kept a couple of clean sheets. And you know, we're not going to be making, you know, drastic changes. It's a very simple message to the players, just to rinse and repeat.
And what has been your message to the players? Because obviously, you know, as you say, yeah, it's great to have that cushion. It isn't huge either. So how do you sort of manage that and make sure that they give everything from now until the end of the season?
The players have given everything all season, to be honest. You know, probably what's been different in the last couple of games is that we haven't been shooting ourselves in the foot. You know, some of the goals that we've conceded in recent games, I feel, have, you know, been caused by our own lapses in concentration or our own poor decision making. You know, defensively against Raith Rovers and against Queen's Park, you know, the players have enjoyed the defensive side of it. You know, we've asked them not to try and be too clever. You know, just make good decisions in those key moments. You know, be good defenders first and foremost, and I think that's what we've done. We've not complicated things at all. We're quite happy to get the ball forward that little bit earlier, maybe, than what we had done in the beginning of the season or even in the middle of the season. You know, Louis Morton, Tony Watt have been leading the line particularly well for us, using that presence that they've got. You know, bringing other players into play, and you know, a lot of our key players are back to playing to the kind of level that they were at the beginning of the season, which is crucial, and you know, a great time to put a really good positive run together going into this final last bit.
And we were speaking to Tony earlier, and he was referring to the fact that, you know, the faith that you've shown in him has really helped him this season and helped him to push on and put in the performances and get the goals and that sort of thing. How pleased have you been with him and how he's sort of taken on that role in the captaincy, and Louis Moult as well up front, the two of them getting those goals that you need?
Yeah, I think any manager would tell you that you rely on your senior players, you know, a lot. You know, we've tried to give a number of the academy graduates opportunities throughout the course of the season, and you know, some of them have really stepped up. I suppose the likes of Kai Fotheringham deserves a special mention with his goals return and his involvement in goals in terms of assists as well. Miller-Thompson has done particularly well at right back as well. Obviously Ross Graham stepping in to that void left by Kevin Holt. But yeah, I mean, you know, the young players have played a part, but the senior players have definitely played a huge role for me in the dressing room in particular, because, you know, as a manager, I see the boys on the training pitch, you know, briefly might pop my head into the dressing room to see one or two, but those guys are in the room constantly with the younger players, and they need to drive the standards and they need to keep the professionalism. And you know, and Tony's been a key figure in that. You know, he's a very boisterous character, as you will know. There's nothing better as a manager to walk by the dressing room and hear, you know, the laughing and the joking and the, you know, the good camaraderie between the group. And I think, you know, they've been a credit to themselves up to now as a group. You know, we have had some adversity throughout the season. We've had to play without some key players. You know, things always haven't went according to plan, but you know, they've been able to come out the other side of it, and you know, they're showing their quality now at this moment in time. And as I said, you know, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel now. We won't take it for granted. We have to just stick together and get the job done.
And just finally, how's your team news going into the game?
Probably similar to a lot of teams out there at this time of the season. You know, it's been a long physical campaign, and you know, lots of players playing with different injuries and different niggles, and guys just trying to get through it at the moment, which is good. We've got a couple that will probably miss on the game tomorrow night. Alex Grieve unfortunately picked up a serious ankle injury against Queen's Park, and Declan Gallagher obviously is still missing, but we would expect Gal to be back involved with the group maybe middle of next week and be part of the squad for the following weekend.
So it's disappointing not to have Alex Grieve, and that'll be him for the season then?
Well, we're not too sure. I'm not going to rule him out for the season just yet, but obviously, you know, we do only have a handful of games left, so you know, we are running out of time in terms of his recovery process. But it was a bad knock to the ankle that he took, and he's been a really good loan signing for us. You know, he's came in at a key moment, and he's added a bit of quality. He's been a great option for us coming off the bench in the games that he's started in. He's played a key role, and you know, he will be missed, but at the same time, it's an opportunity there for some of the younger players to step into.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And you know, obviously playing Morton tomorrow, the games between the sides have been, you know, really close so far this season. What do you think it is that means, you know, both sides have kind of struggled to you know, separate themselves?
Well, I think Dougie Imrie deserves a lot of credit. You know, his teams are always really well organised. You know what you're going to get with them. Like I said earlier, they're very good at what they do. You know, there's many different ways to play the game, and you know, Morton make no bones about the fact that they want to get the ball forward to George Oakley. He's you know, probably one of the best target men in the league. He showed that here at Tannadice last time we played them at home, and you know, he's certainly a player that we have to manage better tomorrow night than we did on that occasion. Yeah, they're a physical team. They've got good experience throughout their team. There's players within their group that I know particularly well, having worked with them in the past, the likes of Callum Waters and Kirk Broadfoot and Alan Power. So you know, I know the characters that they've got in their group. You know, they'll never give up. They'll keep fighting right till the end. You know, they'll be desperate to try and get into that playoff place, and I think if Dougie Imrie manages that with the squad and the resources that he has available to him, I think it'll be one of the jobs of the season from any manager in the league. So I've got the utmost respect for Dougie and for Andy Millen, his assistant, and we're expecting a really, really difficult game, but we done really well down there last time. You know, it wasn't a particularly great game to watch. It was a real battle and a dogfight in the middle of the park, and I felt we won more of those individual battles on the night, which is why we came out on the right end of the result, and that's what we're looking for again tomorrow night.
And you know, just finally, you kind of alluded to earlier that your team's really kind of hitting top form just at the right time of the season. Just how important is it to try and maintain those levels now, just through the last 4 games?
Well, you know, we said to the players after the Wraith Rovers game that, you know, anybody can lift themselves for a big game. You know, in the Wraith Rovers game out here, we knew the importance of it and the significance of it, and the players really stepped up. But the good players play to those levels consistently. And I was delighted that they were able to back up that good, solid performance with another one at Hampden last Saturday. And we need to do it continuously now in the next 4 games, and we need the standards to remain where they are. Individually, everybody is playing a part, but collectively as a group, whether it's guys coming off the bench and making an impact, everybody has played a significant role in that, and we need that right through till the end, to the 3rd of May. And I think if we can maintain the levels that we're at, then hopefully everything else will take care of itself.
Hey Tony, well, 4 points clear at the top of the championship and level on points with your closest rivals, Raith Rovers. I mean, do you feel now, given their result during the week, that this is now Dundee United's title really to lose?
I think for the last maybe 6 weeks it's been actually the full time it's probably been our title to lose, because even when Raith were, if all games played and one ahead of us, we still had to play them, and we knew that what we can do, we knew what we would do. Obviously it's just about going and doing it, and no, nothing's won yet. There's still 12 points to play for them, and there's four points in it, but we just need to win tomorrow, win against them, and hopefully win our last 2 games.
How crucial is that 4-point gap at this point in the season when every point counts?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd rather be 4 points ahead than 4 points behind, but sometimes that leads to complacency, and that's been the message. We can't get complacent, we just need to perform, and to be honest, we've been on a decent, obviously we've had a couple of good games, and even going back to Inverness, we were really good watching the highlights. We went home on Saturday after that and was a bit upset in that, and then when we watched it back we had a lot of chances, so it's just about taking the chances and doing okay.
Do you feel that Dundee United have found their form again just at the right time of the season? Because you had that period where it was a little bit more unsettled, and now it appears you seem to have found it again.
Yeah, I think we were, like I said, we were probably a wee bit unlucky. Even some decisions went away. I know we can't really complain about that, but big decisions in big games kind of went away, whether it was a goal, whether it was a decision, whether it was, I don't know, but now we seem to be coming our way. We've maybe put the ball in the back of the net. When I say decisions, I mean big moments, and we've put the ball in the back of the net, maybe first or whatever, and tomorrow obviously that's a big one for us.
And tomorrow, you can increase the gap to 7 points if you get the win for Raith going into their game on the Saturday. How important is it now that you just go on and keep winning games, and how difficult is that to do as well mentally when you've got the pressure of winning?
Yeah, I think I said in an interview last week, I think we've matched or surpassed a lot of teams' tallies for the full championship seasons in a few years. So no, it's been difficult winning all season, but we've done it, and we've done it well, and we've never focused on any other team other than ourselves. I know it's cliche to say that, but we haven't. We've genuinely just been going it because we could have went under if other teams were ahead of us or whatever, but we haven't. We've got a young squad and a good squad, and no, we just need to keep winning, and our aim will be to win all 4 games. That's got to be the aim, and finish off as strong as possible, because we want to look back and really appreciate the job we've done.
And you yourself, how pleased are you with your season this season? Because obviously last season maybe didn't go quite as you'd hoped, and you went to St Mirren, you came back. How pleased are you with how it's gone for you this season, getting on the score sheet, captaining the side, and doing well at the top of the table? Yeah,
first and foremost, the manager's trusted me. That's the main thing. He's put his trust in me, and I said to my wife, at the end of the season I want the manager to be able to look at me and say I trusted him and he's provided for me, and I believe so far I have. I believe so far I've scored big goals, I've got big assists, a lot of them being at the start of games that really set us off, and what the manager's asked I've tried to deliver, and he's a manager, I'm the player, and that's what it needs to be. And he's really made my time here enjoyable, and after a difficult season last season, which was out of my hands to be honest, I performed well last season in terms of my numbers, goal contributions before I was bombed off, so I can't really have any upset. I know some fans kind of hold it against me, but there's nothing I can do, and I'm trying to prove that by staying here and trying to get us up this season.
And it just goes to show, the faith that's been shown in you, it gives you the confidence to go out and show what you can do. Yeah,
it's easy. The manager's an honest guy, and I'm an honest guy, and I trust him, and I hope he trusts me, and that's just been the case, and that's a healthy working relationship. There's no grey areas, there's nothing behind my back, and that's the way I wanted it, that's the way I expected it to be when I first signed for the club, and it wasn't. That's fine, no problem, but now it is, and to be associated with a club like this, you don't understand the size of the club and the demands, and we know there's a lot of fans who are really behind us, and there's some who moan and groan, which is fine because the expectations of a big club, and the amount of times it's been said in the change room, we want that. We don't want to be fighting for 8th place, 9th place when we win the league, if it's possible. If we win the league, which we want to do, we need to go a game. We can't celebrate that at Dundee United being mediocre. We need to go and really push higher.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just going into this weekend's game against Greenock Morton, just what are you expecting from them? It's been a few close games between the sides already so far this season.
Morton are a very good team. They're difficult to play against. The Gimri's got them really, really well drilled, and they're a handful, and they've got some quality players as well. He's done a miracle with the resources he's got down there, and obviously I know of to go through a few people, and you hear the stories about what they've got, the size of squads, and you think, wow, what a job he's done, and that's fair play to him because he's went and stuck it out, and even through bad times, to be fair, they backed him, and look, they're getting the rewards.
And just what's the manager's message been to yourself and the rest of the squad, especially going into this last run of games?
The manager's message is clear. We have not won anything yet, and that's what I said. If it comes, and if and when it comes, that's fine, but until then, until it's mathematically impossible, we've not won anything, and we can't be celebrating anything.
And just finally for myself, obviously big one against Queen's Park last weekend, and for a while in that first half you must have thought it might not have been your day. The ball just wouldn't go in for you, but then you get the goal before half time, and you kind of showed what you said, taking those chances and getting the 5 goals.
No, I think the really pleasing thing is, see, when you keep creating chances, barring a moment of madness, you're going to score, and we just had to keep the head, and thankfully we did, and we got a good result. But we need to just keep doing that and keep trying to win, and we're in a good place. Well, nothing, like I said, nothing's won, but if we can keep winning games, then it's in our hands.